On the third morning, high on a pass in the driving rain, a woman named Cora knelt down in the mud and understood that she had failed. She had wanted this crossing her whole life, and here she was halfway up it, soaked through, shaking, with nothing left in her legs, certain, at last, that she had simply gone soft. She was wrong. Every part of that was wrong. But to understand why, you have to go back 3 days, to a bright, still morning, and a woman packing in the sunshine who loved Cora very much, and who was about to be the ruin of her. You have knelt on that hillside. I know you have. It just didn't look like a mountain when it happened to you. It looked like a Wednesday, a plan you'd made on Sunday, beautiful and certain that by midweek had somehow become one more thing you were behind on, until you closed the journal and quietly decided the fault was yours. Hold that closed journal for a moment. We're going to find out who really packed it. Let me take you back to Cora's doorstep. 3 days earlier, the sun was on her back and the stone was warm, and the pack lifted off the ground as though it weighed nothing at all. So she added to it the heavier boots in case the weather turned, the good book for the evenings, a second lantern, gifts for the people she would meet on the far side, because she meant to arrive as the kind of woman who brings something. She lifted it again. Still fine. She was strong that morning, and she felt it, and she trusted that feeling the way you trust the weather when you can see the whole sky. Watch what she is doing, because it has a name, and 2 of the most important psychologists of the last century gave it to her. In 1979, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky called it the planning fallacy. When we plan, they found, we do not picture how the journey usually goes. We picture how it goes if it goes well. They called it the inside view. We build the whole plan out of the smooth, golden version of the story and quietly leave out every ordinary way a road can turn to mud. Not because we're foolish, because on a warm doorstep, the golden line is the only version you can see. Which is how a pack that lifted like nothing from a sunlit doorstep becomes, 3 days later, an impossible weight that drives a strong woman to her knees in the rain. "I've gone soft," she whispered to the mud. "I used to be able to do this. Something in me has weakened." Nothing in Cora had weakened, and the woman who had overloaded her was not a stranger or an enemy or bad luck. It was her. It was Cora on the doorstep, rested, warm, and unhurried, who had packed for Cora on the hill. And in 1996, a psychologist named George Lowenstein put his finger on exactly why she could not have known better. He described a hot-cold empathy gap. Our understanding of ourselves, he showed, is state-dependent. When you are calm and clear and strong, you cannot feel your way into being tired. You can know you will be tired. You cannot feel it. So you pack straight past her. The woman who makes the plan and the woman who has to carry it are, in a real and measurable way, 2 different people. And only one of them is ever in the room. So that plan you called a failure, look at it again. You made it on your best morning, rested, hopeful, an hour to yourself and the clean week ahead. And you built it faithfully, for the only woman in the room, the one at the sunlit table. But she is not the one who has to live it. That's you on Wednesday at 6 in the evening after everything, and she was never once asked what she could carry. You did not fail the plan. You were handed a load that was measured on a warm doorstep by a woman with nothing yet on her back for a hill she had not yet climbed. The weight was never the measure of you. You are not soft, my friend. You were simply never packed for. So here is one small thing before we go on. And this time, it isn't only for you. Leave one word in the comments, real, and then look at the ones already there. Every reel is another woman who closed her journal at some point and called herself soft. and is choosing today to stop doing that. When you add yours, the next tired seeker who scrolls down, certain she's the only one who keeps failing, sees that she is not alone and never was. Your word will be seen. It will matter to her. That is how we walk each other up the hill, one honest word at a time. Just real. For her and for you. There is a cost to this, and I won't hide it from you. Packing for your ordinary day means setting some things down on the path. It means writing a smaller week than the one you can so clearly picture. And there's a grief in that, because the woman on the doorstep wasn't lying. She truly wanted to carry all of it. But she was never going to reach the top under that weight. So you don't lower her ambition. You give her a pack she can actually carry there. Make the plan for your ordinary Wednesday, not your best Sunday. Ask not what would I love to do this week, but what will still be possible on the worst evening of it. And then imagine the crossing she actually makes. A Wednesday when the plan still fits, not because the day was gentle with you, but because it was built by someone who knew what a Wednesday really weighs. Opening the journal in week 6, not to start over, but simply to carry on. Imagine what you would finish in a year if every plan were made for the woman you'll be on all the ordinary days, and not the one who only visits on Sundays. That is what waits on the far side of the pass. It was never a better planner. It was a plan made honestly for a real life. If this found you at just the right moment, here is where I'd walk with you next. A video will appear beside me, and it's the natural other half of this one. We've just seen how a plan falls apart when it's built for a woman who was never asked what she could carry. That next video asks the very same question about something bigger. Your motivation and why it quietly runs out when the goals you're chasing were never truly yours to begin with. If today's story spoke to you, that one will too. Watch it with me when you're ready. Until then, seekers, walk gently, be kind, and remember, you are already enough. The best self you seek is already inside you.